Hi, Scott Tipton. I wanted to be able to give you an update on some legislation that I believe is very important to the 3rd Congressional District and the Western United States. This week, the House of Representatives passed a bill that was very supportive of in regards to the Endangered Species Act. I think it's important to note at the beginning that we all understand and value the importance of being able to protect endangered species in this country. But we also believe it's incredibly important that in the interests of our communities that we're making sure we use the best scientific data available to make sure that we're doing programs that are actually going to address recovery of the species. As we well know, in the 3rd Congressional District of Colorado and the state of Colorado, that the best programs are actually being initiated right at home, working with our farmers, ranchers, our communities, our state initiatives to be able to achieve those goals, rather than a one-size-fits-all program coming out of the Department of Interior that would encompass 11 different states, virtually not making it possible to be able to achieve real recovery. In the House of Representatives, we just passed a bill to be able to create transparency to make sure that the best scientific data is actually being used. Had actual testimony coming in from Dr. Rainey saying that the government was using studies that were not open to public scrutiny or review. They were not taking into account the actual measures that are being used in our local areas to be able to get species recovery. This is going to be a good piece of legislation that we hope that the Senate will take up. It's important for the Western United States, for us in the 3rd Congressional District, to be able to have some certainty and to be able to have achievable goals. Many of you are probably a lot like me. When we had Secretary Jewell before our committee and I asked the question, do you have numbers that will specify when recovery is achieved? They haven't even established those numbers. These are the sort of common sense steps that we need to have to be able to achieve the common goal that we have to be able to have species recovery, but also making sure that we're protecting jobs and protecting our communities as well. One, I'll also be able to report to you a conversation that we'd had in the Small Business Committee with the EPA. Very discouraged to listen to the EPA show blatant disregard for local community input. They're moving forward with their Waters of the U.S. proposal and their rule without first going in and finding out about real impacts and how it's going to hurt businesses and our ability to be able to grow jobs and to be able to protect our families. Every American embraces the concept of clean air and clean water, but we also want common sense in the process. We have great technologies in place right now that we can have actual win-wins using an all-of-the-above energy strategy to make sure that we're delivering affordable energy to our consumers. Our moms and dads are trying to be able to provide for their families, and senior citizens who are on fixed incomes. And for the EPA to be putting forward rules which are going to be impacting those actual costs when we have to write out those checks on a monthly basis for energy in this country, let's have a common sense proposal, common sense initiatives, which are going to be able to achieve those win-wins, which I think that we would all aspire to. The EPA has overreached. I think that that was demonstrated by their comments in committee. We need to make sure that we're getting that public comment and understanding what the real economic impacts of rules are going to have on our economy and our ability to be able to provide for our families. We're going to be going into what is called the August recess. This is going to be an opportunity for us to be able to be in the district. We've got numerous town halls, which we have already listed, that we'd invite you to be able to come to and to be able to express your views. We need to be able to hear your thoughts. We're going to be visiting with businesses and traveling through the district, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks so much.